Boom. Let's go, Bourbon Quest. It's your host, Bourbon Steve here. Oh, it's the start of a new week. Hey, we're getting on some record highs, so please stay hydrated, my friends. I tried drinking a little bit of whiskey out in the garage. What is it? It's like 90 plus degrees here in East Tennessee. It's freaking hot. Well, and it's so hot out there, I couldn't stand it. I did have a little ice sphere in my glass. Or not an ice sphere, what do you call it? I guess you just call it it's not a rock. I use like this glacier sphere that I put in the freezer. That way it doesn't water down the whiskey, but still cools it off on 90 plus degree temperatures. Anyway, so hey, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, go ahead and take a second. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that subscribe button up there. We're at like 440 last I looked. We're trying to get to 500. So as soon as we hit 500, we'll go searching for a cat to be the mascot here on Bourbon Quest. And also, then do yourself a favor, just ring that bell for notifications. That way you don't miss a single video. Smash that like button, that helps the YouTube algorithms. And leave a comment. Specifically, if you've got some suggestions for some upcoming show ideas, I'd be interested in those. Kind of running out of things that I want to do. So any suggestions that you have would be grateful, whether that be maybe doing a matchup. I should do that. A matchup of bottle and bond. That would be one idea. But any others that you've got, whether it be a distillery, a proof point, like or an age statement, like to do. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do like a bottled and bond blind, a like 10 to 12 year age stated blind, and what else? Let's see. Age stated, bottled and bond. I just did a finished one. Oh, maybe a proof point, like give or take around 100 proof. You know, well, that would kind of include most of the bottled and bonds. Maybe a little bit higher then. How about like? Oh, that would be a good one to do. A video on barrel strength. Yeah, so let's do. I'll do those three: bottled and bond, 10 to 12 year age stated, and barrel proof blinds upcoming. But if you've got other ideas or suggestions, I'd be glad to hear those. My idea for today was to just do under $30 or under bottles that I have open on my shelf. So start off with Benchmark Old Number 8. Yes, Buffalo Trace. You know, people always want Buffalo Trace. Well, you should be able to go find you a Benchmark. I mean, that's Buffalo Trace. I mean, you got. It's a funny thing. People always want to know. You got Buffalo Trace. You got Blanton's. You got Weller. You got Elmer T. Lee, Colonel Taylor. Well, no, but I got Benchmark and I got Old Carter. That's from Buffalo Trace. If you have to have something from Buffalo Trace, seriously, it's actually pretty good. All right, so this is the old Benchmark Old Number 8. I mean, smooth, sweet. Even a little bit of syrupy, vanilla, caramel. I mean, nothing complex, but a damn good sipping whiskey. Was it 80 proof? Yeah, 80 proof. So, yeah, sweet, not complex, enjoyable, especially like on a hot summer day like today. This is freaking great. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Alright, remember, always stay hydrated, especially in 90 plus degree weather. I know some places out west, like Arizona, Nevada, whatever, they may be hitting 100 or something today. Alright, so that's a great whiskey. All right, next is Kentucky Vintage. This is Willet. Pretty sure. Does it say? Dun, dun, dun. I don't know if it says Willet on here or not. Well, it's Willet. I can't see it on the bottle, but I hadn't had this in a little bit. So, Kentucky Vintage. What's the proof on this? This is 90 proof, so we started off with an 80 proof. Now we got 90 proof. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. It's got some nice spice on it. Definitely get that mint, that spice. That's about it. Again, not complex, but man, that's actually pretty good for 90 proof. Especially if you like that mint, that spice, you get that on that. An easy drinker. Again, if you want a little spice in the heat, because it's not heat as in proof, but you do get that mint, kind of like a cool mint, which kind of goes great with this 90-degree weather. I think that's another fantastic, easy summer bourbon. I think I like it better than the Benchmark. That mint, even though it's a higher proof, just kind of gives it a little bit of a cool, smooth feeling. I like that a lot. You know, that's one reason I wanted to do this video. Is I get it, man. Especially today's freaking environment with inflation and gas prices and stuff. I mean, we have to be cutting back on these $100 plus bottles and pick you up a little bit more. These are all under $30, including this Evan Williams Black Label, Heaven Hill. So you got Buffalo Trace, you got Willet, you got Heaven Hill. I think JW Dant, the next one's Heaven Hill too, I'm pretty sure. So, Evan Williams Black Label. I mean, vanilla caramel, not complex by any means on the nose. Smells a little youthful, but I usually like it. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Again, delicious. Vanilla, caramel, a little bit of oakiness. Yeah, you get that barrel char, that vanilla, that caramel. This comes in at 86 proof, so I think these are all great, especially during these hot summer months. Maybe you typically, I mean, it was too hot to even drink outside, even with a sphere in the glass to cool it down. I was sweating like a freaking whore in church. But you got 80 proof, 90 proof, 86 proof. Again, a great, I think, not complex, but enjoyable whiskey. Affordable, easy to find. Alright. Again, I can't say it enough. Stay hydrated, my friends, on these hot summer days. I'll take the heat over the cold anytime, though. Jeez. I don't want to complain too much, because I'd much rather have the heat than below freezing temperatures. And then this is JW Dant Kentucky Straight Bourbon, bottled in bond. I mean, this is like a $15 bottle. It's freaking fantastic. It's Bardstown. Pretty 95% sure this is Heaven Hill. There's no, it says Bardstown, but it's Heaven Hill. It's freaking fantastic. I mean, probably, let's see, but it's probably my favorite budget bourbon. And I don't think either a lot of people don't know about it, or maybe they write it off because it is so cheap and a bottom shelfer. I mean, nothing special about the label or the bottle, but I mean, I even included it in last year's. No, no, I didn't. I don't think I did whiskey of the year, but it was. But it made it to like either the Sweet 16, possibly the Elite 8, and when I did the Mash Madness. So it's that good. It really is. Mm. I mean, it's sweet caramel, vanilla. Get a little bit of that barrel char, and a little bit of cherry. A little bit of fruitiness, cherry. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Yeah, I mean, it's sweet. Yeah, you get that cherry, vanilla, caramel. Freaking delicious. I think I think this is one of the more underrated, bottom shelf, fantastic, cheap bourbons that you can find. If you've Let me know in your comments if you agree with me, if you've had JW Dant before. I think this is a freaking jewel and a steal at $15. I mean, honestly, I mean, again, it's not complex, it's not anything crazy, but I mean, honestly, I'd pay $30 for that. It's that good. Anytime you can get whatever. I mean, if a bottle's $50 and you'd pay $100 for it, that's a steal. In this case, even more so. I think if it's $15, I'd pay $30 for it. I really would, and I wouldn't hesitate about it. Paying $30. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I'd still much rather get it at $15. But I think that's a steal. That's a bargain. I think all these are freaking fantastic for $30 and under that you can find and are deliver above. I mean, they're what am I trying to say? They punch above their weight class. Like, I mean, I would say most of these, if not all of these, would do quite well in a blind of, you know, even up to $50 bourbons, you know. So again, that's the thing. Everybody chases alligator stuff and expensive stuff sometimes. I don't know about the expensive stuff. I think people do that more just out of ego. Like, oh, I can afford a $400 bottle of bourbon. Okay. It may taste like a $50 bourbon, but I can afford a $400 bottle of bourbon. When you could probably do just as well with one of these, to be honest. Now again, these are not, you know, highly aged, they're not highly complex, but they're simple, they're good, they're enjoyable, and I think all these, especially in, well, I mean, the highest proof one is, and this does not even drink like a 100 proof. But I would say if you're looking for good summer bourbons, affordable, enjoyable, and you don't have to justify anything by it, any one of these four are I would say pick all four up. They're all a thumbs up in my book. They're all enjoyable, they're all delicious, they're all easy to find, and they're all affordable. And hey, right now with the current inflation that we're in and gas prices just reaching a national average of over $5 a gallon, hadn't hit $5 here in East Tennessee yet, but we're like at $4.59. I even contemplated I was gonna wait and fill up tomorrow. I thought about even just filling up today, because I mean, I'm obviously today, tomorrow. I probably should have filled up today, because prices more than likely, if they don't stay the same, they're not going down. So more than likely I'll probably end up being a dumbass and have to pay more by not filling up today and waiting until tomorrow, but whatever. Go Brandon. Dumbass. So let me know, what are you trying to acquire? What are you trying to save money on? Are you looking for more budget bourbons on this? Or are you still antiquated to go after the $100 plus bottles, or highly allocated? I mean, I don't know where we're going on this. I mean, inflation's hitting everything. I mean, not only did I mention like gas prices, food, obviously baby formula, but yeah, I start having an issue when it starts hitting my my bourbon budget, and it definitely has. I guess I'm glad I got into this about a little over 2 years ago, because now I'm much more selective. You know, it's funny because I work, as you know, I bartend full time, and then I work semi part time at a liquor store here in Knoxville, and you know, prices are going up everywhere, and understandably, I mean, it's hitting everybody. But I hate it when it hits my bourbon budget. But I'm becoming a little bit, ooh, that's so good. But I'm becoming a little bit more selective. Yeah, it's funny working, you know, semi part-time at a liquor store. I mean, I have 610 bottles of bourbon here at the bourbon ship. And, you know, there's ultimately, they'll be like, what do you think about that? Well, I haven't tried that one. I mean, as much as I've tried, I still can't try everything. And I've become more selective. Like, you know, I guess a person asked me about Hill Rock the other day. And I've never tried it. It may be great. It may be fantastic. But I've pretty much limited myself to that. I don't trust somebody in New York producing my whiskey. Maybe that's the South of me, whatever, and maybe I'm missing something, but that's just me, Bourbon Steve. Like, pretty much, if it's not made in Tennessee, Kentucky, or Indiana, I'm usually an out on it. Whether it's I'm out on West Virginia, I'm out on Wyoming. I mean, and those are my three main. It's got to be produced in Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and then I mean, a few outliers. So obviously, I love Bowman, which is Virginia. So we'll go ahead and include Virginia in that. So, but I'm in that general region, you know, Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana. Like, I'm not a fan of Texas whiskey, or New York, or even Wyoming. Yes, I will do, was it Colorado? I will do a High West. I like High West. I like High West Rendezvous, obviously Midwinter's Night Dram, and then Nevada was Smoke Wagon. I'm a big fan of Smoke Wagon, but that's Indiana sourced. So there you go. I mean, granted, you can produce bourbon in any one of the 50 states. Yeah, because you got to be in the United States to be called bourbon, at least 51% corn. But does that include United States properties? Like, what is it? Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico is owned by the United States, right? I'm pretty sure. Tell me in the comments. Puerto Rico is owned by the United States. Am I right? I'm pretty sure I am, but I'm not 100% sure. But I don't know if you could. I mean, it's not it's not. I think it's owned and controlled by the United States, but it's not a United States. So, could you produce bourbon in Puerto Rico? Inquiring minds want to know. So let me know, Bourbon Quest, if you've got an idea, like Puerto Rico. Could they produce bourbon? I don't know. Be interesting to know that. I mean, and if they could, do they, or would they, or should they? I don't know. But hey, that's today's video. I pulled 4 bottles that are open on my shelf, which I probably have like 140 bottles open. I pulled 4 that are like $30 and under. Good sipping, delicious, not complex, but affordable and great. There you have it. Alright, that wraps it up, Bourbon Quest. Thanks for tuning in. That's a wrap. We'll see you next time. Hey, and as always, my wish for you is that all your Bourbon Quest dreams come true. God, it's so hot. Ba-bum.